Hello everyone, and welcome to another time-lapse drawing, where I provide mediocre commentary for as long as I can until I run out of things to say. But this time I'm actually going to make an effort to provide commentary for the entire duration of the video instead of just playing music at the end. This basically means I'm going to talk about whatever random things come to my mind when I make this script, so the quality of the commentary might just suffer a little bit. I mean, not that it has much to lose, it's pretty garbage as far as commentary goes, but don't be surprised if I start talking about the weather or something like that. But before I get into the garbage commentary, I actually do have something worth talking about. As many of you know, I hit 100,000 subscribers, which is freaking awesome, and I mentioned in my last video that I'm trying to decide something to do as a sort of special because, well, that's a cliche thing that YouTubers do, and I'm not exactly trying to break new ground here on my channel. So here's the thing, I definitely want to do a sort of Q&A, but I'm trying to mix it with something else. I don't know what I'm gonna mix it with, but the point is I'm gonna use this video for you to submit questions to me. So ask whatever the heck you want in the comments, or on Twitter if you think you're too good for the YouTube comments section. Cool, thanks. By announcing a Q&A on this video, I'm rewarding the truly dedicated subscribers and weeding out the weak-willed subscribers, because only those who are truly dedicated watch my time-lapse drawings. Love y'all. Mwah. Alright, now I would talk about the comic I'm making right now, but before I get into it, I've got to provide some background information. So, my university has a school newspaper with a comics section, and I thought it would just be a cool thing to get my comics in there. I sent the editor an email and had a meeting with him, and now I'm getting paid a whopping $10 for each comic I make for them, which isn't much at all, I just thought it'd be a neat thing to do. Up until this point, there were only about 2 or 3 comics they had in the paper each day, Monday through Thursday. The comic section isn't very big. So what we decided on was to just kick whatever 2 comics were in there every Thursday to make room for mine as a sort of special. I only have time to make a comic about once a week anyways, so it works out well. There was, however, a problem with the sizing of the comic, because the section they give me to work with is a 5.6 by 3.6 square inch of area, and as most of you know, I make comics run vertically because that makes them easier to view on the internet. Now I have to rearrange my comic rectangles to make them fit. Like, Dilbert runs his comics vertically like I do, and if he offered to put his comics in our college newspaper, they would definitely make accommodations. But no, not for me. Anyways, I hope this sort of explains the premise of the comic I'm drawing now, and because it's the first one of mine that's going to be in a newspaper, and I wanted to do some sort of fourth wall breaking to go along with it. When it's printed, I think I'll cut it out and hang it up on my wall. That'll be neat. Changing topics now. So, I type these scripts in a Word document, no surprise there. But something I noticed recently is how much pickier spell check has gotten. For some reason, spell check feels the need to tell you when you can phrase something in a more concise way, which I think is completely stupid. This basically means that I've got a bunch of dotted red lines all over my scripts, including this one, telling me I have a mistake for clarity and conciseness, because I throw in words like actually when it's not completely necessary, and the phrase have to instead of just using the word must to put emphasis on things. And I also don't want to sound like a super grammatically correct nerd. That's also part of it. Not that the things I type are grammatically incorrect, sometimes they could just be said more well. That probably wasn't grammatically correct. But now I have to specifically ignore each claim that spell check makes against my clarity and conciseness, which can be pretty annoying after it's happened 5 or 6 times already. Why can't there be an option that just lets me type how I darn well want to and not have spell check over my shoulder like an 8th grade English teacher trying to nitpick all my sentences so that they're perfectly phrased? It's not like I'm always typing an essay for class or a letter to a professor or anything. Don't get me wrong, I love it how it tells me when my grammar or spelling is blatantly incorrect, but if what I'm writing is still technically correct, then please just leave me the frick alone, spell check. Okay, so I discovered something pretty cool recently, and this might be a well-known thing to some of you, but there are 24/7 music live streams on YouTube. Specifically 24/7 streams of chill hop and instrumental jazz, which I think is great because whenever I want to do some homework I can just put one of those on and it's perfect study music for as long as I need. I know not all people do this, but I like a bit of background noise when I do homework, so I usually find some sort of relaxing instrumental music because if there are lyrics it distracts me. Generally, if music has lyrics, your attention is automatically divided to interpreting those lyrics, and you lose some concentration, but it depends on what you're doing as to how much your focus on that task is affected. Like when I'm drawing, I can listen to any music I want and it doesn't affect how well I do, but if I'm trying to figure out an organic chemistry reaction mechanism, then I can't be listening to rap music, or else I'll get a headache from trying to force my attention on homework while my brain is interpreting lyrics about riding with my hoes or getting fat stacks. That's actually something I haven't been able to find recently, is more good rap music. I would just browse YouTube or something, but I'm afraid of having to sludge through all the smelly rap garbage before I find some good songs. So recently I've just mostly been listening to chill hop music like I mentioned before. I would totally just play some in the background of these time-lapse videos if I didn't have to worry about copyright stuff, so that's whatever. What I think would be cool is if someone out there wanted to promote their SoundCloud or mixtape or whatever, then they could just come to me and I'd put their music in my time-lapse videos as long as they gave me the rights to their music and I could monetize the video. So yeah, I guess if any of you watching want to promote your ukulele music or something, hit me up. I'd gladly put it in my time-lapse videos as long as the music is actually somewhat decent. I don't want to make my subscribers' ears bleed, and I'll put a link to whatever the heck you want that's related to your music in the description. If I could get some music to put to these, I wouldn't have to think of 10 minutes of commentary either, which is turning out to be way more challenging than I thought it'd be. It's pretty easy to make a good bit of commentary in my animation videos because I'm usually telling a story, which takes time and I have a specific focus to talk about. With these though, I've got to think of a bunch of random things to talk about that may or may not be actually interesting. I mean, I guess I could just talk about whatever the heck is going on in my life for the entire duration of each of these time lapses. Would you all like that, or would you rather I just talk for however long is appropriate and play music for the remainder of the video? Let me know in the comments what you prefer. I'm legitimately curious. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the time lapse, and congratulations if you watched this far. You the real MVP. Don't forget to leave a comment about any questions you have that would be appropriate for a Q&A. And anyway, thanks, bye.